Thank you to all of our viewers tuning back into another CSE issuer update. Today, I am talking to none other than Paul Gill. Paul is the president and CEO of Pampa Metals. You might remember Pampa Metals from early in January when we did a newly listed clip for the company. But Paul, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I hope you're well.
Yeah, I am, Neil. Thanks very much. A kind introduction.
Of course. Now, Paul, there might be some viewers who didn't watch the newly listed clip back in January. So why don't we begin with an introduction to Pampa Metals?
Yeah, Pampa Metals was formed by a number of former executives of large mining companies. They came from Rio Tinto, BHP, and other ones. And they formed around a very big land package of about 58 to 60,000 hectares in northern Chile around Antofagasta, and focused on the D'Amico and Pliocene belts there, which are all copper producing belts. And if anyone knows Chile, the three biggest mines in the world are located along those belts. And so Escondida, the biggest mine in the world, is right there. So it's the place to be, and we're looking for copper, gold, porphyry discoveries.
I want to give you the floor and address, your current shareholders, any potential shareholders, on why this is the right time to be paying attention to a project that Pampa has.
Yeah, if we step back and look at the market in general and the demand for copper, we know that the electric vehicle revolution is happening. That is my premise in the markets, generally speaking. We know there's a huge change in the way energy is stored, energy is transmitted, and cars and vehicles and all of that. That transition will require 8 new mines, 7 new mines. I don't know how many, but there's a lot of new mines. The best place to find a mine is in a location where there is no vegetation, no people, and a whole very good history of finding mines, and that's Chile. Chile produces 20%, 26% of the world's copper, and there's a reason for that. There's 10 majors, 12 majors that are there, and so that's I think the background here. The demand is going through the roof for copper. We have seen fluctuations up to 480, down to 350. Don't be fooled out of your positions, is what I'm telling people now. You know what's going to happen in the future. Be strong in these companies that will produce good results. And we're early stage at this point in time. We're undervalued. We're a 10 million market cap company at this point in time. We have a long future ahead of us, and we're going to go out there and make a discovery. And that's what we're here for.
In January, when we spoke, you had mentioned that the company had 8 exploration properties that were targets. Currently, the main focus has been the Block 4 project, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We're really looking forward to getting the drills in the ground there. What we have done thus far is very encouraging. We've done a full magnetic survey of the whole area, which produced 5 or 6 anomalies, one of which we're focused on. We did an IP survey, which aligned perfectly with the magnetic anomaly. So you know that there's something underneath that location. It's a small mound. And further, on the surface, there is a lighter coloring to this particular area than everywhere else in the Pampa or the host area. So we know that obviously there has been some alteration going on underneath the ground. Further, and most importantly, we've trenched and produced stockwork veins, which indicate a porphyry is present, meaning that the host rock is cracked and that you have mineralized material coming up through. So it's very, very interesting. The last piece just released a little while ago, since January, was that we have aged the rocks there as tertiary age, which are the right age for these copper deposits.
Paul, talk to us a little bit about the process that went into, gathering more details and aging these rocks.
Yeah, you take samples of various different rocks around the particular project. There is a halo of copper oxide rocks in the area. They sent them to the lab. I mean, the labs are backed up, of course. There's so much work going on, and then you get the results back, and you're able to then place those in the right context with other information that's available from the Chilean archives and geological archives.
Paul, I want to talk a little bit about the process you and your team have gone ahead with. I also noticed that there was a partnership that you guys had announced with Ver AI Discoveries, which was using artificial intelligence technology in relation to mineral discoveries. Talk to us a little bit about that and how that's working in your favor.
Yeah, the general philosophy of our team and Tim Beal and Yanis Tesodis and Adrian Menger and Julian Babin are really the geological team minds behind this, and Tim specifically, including our Chilean team, which is an incredible group of people. So what they said is, let's take a look at areas in which we feel that there's going to be significant mineralized potential. Let's do initial surveys. Let's do several layers of surveys. And then added on to that, we were approached by Ver AI, who looked at other areas in which there is similar types of mineralization, and they have their own projects which they have done reports on, and we went and did the groundwork there. So it's a good partnership, because what the AI does is predict areas that there might be new targets to drill that we may not have gotten, even though we have a very, very vigilant team. It may identify stuff that's underneath the Pampa in other locations on those projects we have and the projects that Very AI have.
So, Paul, thank you for that breakdown. Obviously, it's a very busy time for you and your team in the field. What can our viewers and investors expect in the coming months from you and your team?
Yeah, it's really important at this point in time to do the last piece of the puzzle, which is the soil sampling. We've started that process, 2,500 samples over a very large area. And so we will get an idea of where the anomalies are in the soil. And now that's very important. I mean, if you understand the history of Chile in that particular area is basically producing these copper porphyry deposits at a vast rate. Many of them are located there. And you need a lot of analytical tools to find them. And so what we find is that those tectonic plate action that's occurring there produces these porphyry deposits, but they are then covered by this layer of broken rock and dirt and etc. for the last 15 million years. So it's very rare to find a mine there without finding a break or a hillock or something that pushes through that area, and then all of the chaff and broken rock fall away to allow you to make that discovery. So we, I think, are very lucky and unique to have a very good team who recognize this area. It's very remote, but it's very, very prospective.
Now, I know you and your team are quite active when it comes to keeping your shareholders and potential investors up to date with progress. So where can our viewers go to, not only read up on your team, but your press releases and maybe sign up for your newsletters?
Yeah, we are at pampametals.com. That's our website. You can find us on Instagram under Pampa Metals, on LinkedIn under Pampa Metals, on Facebook under Pampa Metals, and Twitter under Pampa Metals. So we've got it all covered. We're there. You can find information. We're always pushing out information because it's vital for shareholders and investors to get the latest right away and get informed, because information is comfortable for us as shareholders and investors. We need information that things are progressing, and that's what we intend to do. We want to be very informative and give shareholders the right, because it's their company. You know, the shareholders who put their money up, it's their company, and we are responding to them.
Thank you so much for taking the time to, join myself and our viewers and talk to us on what the company has achieved in the last 7-8 months of 2022. Obviously, we look forward to hosting you again in the coming months to talk a little bit more about what you and your team have achieved. And I encourage everybody watching to go to the Pampa Metals website, read up on their press release. If you do have questions or curious about something, I encourage you to reach out to Paul and his investor relations team to do your due diligence. Paul, again, thank you so much for taking the time, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Anil. Take care.